Hi, I'm 𝗙𝗶𝘀𝗀𝗀, Festival Curator. I wanted to welcome you and thank you for joining us for the 10th Annual CODAME Art and Tech Festival. If you're new to CODAME, our mission is to spark visionaries with playful workshops and an inclusive art and tech festival. We do this by celebrating the value of creativity through inspiring experiences like art projects, sales, performances, and installations. This year's Art and Tech Festival theme is Joint, representing a global opportunity to connect, create, and celebrate. With 10 days of content, you can still sign up for workshops, attend daily live events, and jump into our anytime experiences. 50% of all proceeds are split with participating artists. Thank you so much for all your support. So let's get right to it with today's event, Curiously Minded Live Coding Shaders with 𝗙𝗶𝘱 and 𝗙𝗶𝘳. We're so excited to feature 𝗙𝗶𝘱 and 𝗙𝗶𝘳 as a part of the festival and to be here for the launch of their Twitch channel. 𝗙𝗶𝘱 is a digital artist, creative developer, and designer from Mexico, based in Hamburg, Germany. She's currently exploring a variety of new media art technologies ranging from 3D CG, generative art, visuals, sound art, and interactive art. Her work is also featured in the CODAME shop. 𝗙𝗶𝘳 is an artist and programmer from Montreal, Canada, currently based in Paris, France. She works with emerging technologies in sound, creating real-time interactive audio-visual installations and web-based playgrounds. 𝗙𝗶𝘱 and 𝗙𝗶𝘳 actually met at a CODAME workshop this summer, so we are thrilled that we are a part of bringing them together. This will be a 2-hour session, and we will be taking questions throughout. There will also be a Q&A session following in Discord, the link that we will paste in the chat. There will be a donation link as well in the chat, and all proceeds will go to Code 2040, a nonprofit activating, connecting, and mobilizing the largest racial equity community in tech to dismantle the structural barriers that prevent the full participation and leadership of Black and Latinx technologists in the innovation economy. So with that, I'll let 𝗙𝗫𝘀 and 𝗙𝗶𝘱 take it from here.
Yeah, everyone's saying we're good. I got a thumb.
Okay, we're gonna reintroduce ourselves, by the way, because I think when we were introduced, either you listened to 𝗙𝗫𝘀 or you didn't listen to me.
Yeah, I was talking a mile a minute anyways because I was feeling nervous, but now everything
Yeah, me too.
has been broken, so we're good.
But now I put the captions too, which is a lot of fun, by the way, for the ones that are watching. If you look at the captions, I think it's always fun because they're not always exactly what we're saying.
They're definitely not right most of the time, but they're entertaining. Yeah. Okay, so let's just start again. I was saying I work with Unity a lot. I really like doing interaction stuff. I love shaders. They've been an obsession of mine for forever. I've been poking at them for like 2-ish years, but have found them very kind of elusive for a long time until I discovered Book of Shaders. Patricio wrote that, best shader resource ever, and then found my way into Char's lovely shader workshops, which is where I met 𝗙𝗶𝘱. And so we've been coding together since the summer, and it's been really fun getting to test out, because we have 2 very different approaches too. Like, we both like to poke at things, but our intuition about things is different, and often the functions that I reach for are not the ones that she'll reach for. So in the end, we end up kind of combining our toolkit of like functions that are really intuitive for both of us. And so it's been fun. Did you want to reintroduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do it faster this time. Yeah, I was just gonna shorten it to the part of where I was saying before you could listen to me that I got interested in shaders last year when I was learning about WebGL and about everything that one can do with WebGL in the 3D world, in the web world, and also for installation work and just doing sound art. And I guess in general, I'm a multidisciplinary person, I think it's called in English, that I have interest leaning towards several places all of the time since I was a teenager. Now, of course, with digital art is the same. And so this year around April, I started to challenge myself to learn GLSL because I really wanted to understand it from scratch in order to use them with other tools. Like, for example, in 3GS, you could use shaders that are already there, but I really wanted to have an understanding, especially because I have an interest to maybe later on do installation work or who knows, visuals, other stuff. And it's just, it's been helpful now. I realize when I actually got to understand them, to maybe now explore other tools with it. And maybe some of you already follow me, saw that a lot of the shader stuff that I started posting in April, I use this hashtag that I call Any Day Shaders, because I wanted to come up with a challenge that wasn't very stressful for me. Because every time I tried to do 100 days of code or this everyday thing, it didn't work. Yeah, exactly. For me, it did never work out. Maybe for 1 or 2 weeks I was on the train, but then, and so this thing that I call Any Day Shaders, I thought, oh, this is perfect, because now I can do shaders whenever I feel like. Maybe a week I can do one every day if I feel like. Maybe at some point one every month. And I invited my Twitter friends that wanted to practice shaders to join. So if you haven't heard of this like little challenge and you want to learn shaders, feel free to use it. And now at this point, actually, if you go to Twitter or Instagram and you search the hashtag, you can find not only myself, but you can find stuff from Eliza, Mario, Leah, a lot of people who had joined the challenge, so it's cool. And yeah, lastly, I guess just to repeat again that I was very happy when I crossed paths with Eliza in the summer, thanks to Char, and that we found out each other, because it turned out that when we started just to play around and see like, oh, let's collab and try this, and we found a very good flow, I would say. That I haven't found in a long time, collaborating with someone that it's very smooth. And I like that we both are similar in some ways, but in other ways, the differences that we have from the background of our understanding of shaders help us to combine like the forces when we create the stuff together.
Definitely. Yeah. I was just going to add to that I think we met at a CODAME workshop, shader workshop, but like I think you'd followed me like 2 weeks before that, and so I think in a way it was like triple full circle serendipitous moment that we ended up meeting. We ended up in the same breakout room.
Yeah, exactly. So
random,
it was just...
but I love that kind of thing.
Yeah,
okay. So what else did I want to say before what are we doing today? Let's talk about that.
Exactly. I wanted to say. So we already like discussed what we wanted to do today for all of you. And we figured that we wanted something like maybe a little bit for the holidays.
Yeah, like festive.
Something festive, something shiny. Optical illusions, we talked about.
Which we love. Yeah. Yeah, because we're going to do, if you've seen any of our teasers, our most recent one was ray marching, but we really love playing around with the more simple 2D shaders, especially if you happen to be new to shaders. 2D is obviously the easier way to start, but also because in 2D, if you play with colors you can play with colors in such a way that you still get this sense of depth and almost kind of 3D, which is why we tend to gravitate towards trying to do optical illusion-y things, because it's like a hack on, it's like faux 3D, I guess. It's just fun. So yeah, I have a hair in my eye, I'm sorry. We decided ahead of time that we would kind of try and do something with patterns and add some movement and do some fun things with colors and kind of see what we end up with. We have a general idea, but it's kind of still going to be a little bit of an exploration and an experimentation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, we hope you learn with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so
shall we get started?
Yeah, maybe.
Did I want to add anything? No. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask people if somebody has a question up until this point, because it seems that it's nice that they can actually tell us, because we're very thankful that you help us with the sound thing. So.
Yeah. I see Bob Ross in the comments. Someone just commented an emoji of Bob Ross. I'm into it.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that before. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's happening now. Actually, I have the hair a little bit.
Really have the hair now. Yeah, it's true.
When I think about it. So, okay, maybe I'm gonna tell them the little code that they can see on the screen already. So
yeah. We set up so what you were saying before was that shaders is fun because you can use it in a lot of different languages, right? You can use shaders in JavaScript. I use it in Unity. It's a bit of a different syntax. You can play around with it with P5 and open frameworks. Am I forgetting stuff? I'm sure there's like a million other places you can. Well, that's one of the reasons I love shaders is because I was like, it's like a bridge language. You
Well,
can
people
literally
doing
plug it
video
into
games, you know, so
yeah, exactly.
that's the more sick stuff that I see always in shaders. Like if you go to Shaders Toy and you see the actual like video game build with a shader, so that blows my mind every time.
Yeah.
So.
But so this time, what we're doing today is in Three.js.
And basically. I'm showing them right now probably in the screen. They can see the book of shaders, and here in the book of shaders, if somebody who's tuning in right now doesn't know what it is, which is, I think we already mentioned what it is many times, and we might continue. So in case like somebody comes in.
Yeah, totally.
But in here, like if you go to like the page number 4, they explain the way that you could set up if you're not using a GLSL editor. So, and we took the template for Three.js, which is the reason why you see right now some code that we already have here.
Oh yeah.
That we just like copy paste from the book of shaders, so that it helps us. And this fragment shader is the same, and the vertex shader is just a very simple one, because we're not gonna do anything with the vertex shader today. We're just gonna work with the colors.
We're focusing on fragment. We're doing colors. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's set up let's set up our little I guess screen space.
Yeah, the UV that they call it in
Vec2. You can, so I have always encountered it as a UV, but if you read the book of shaders, Patricio actually uses ST, and he was telling me the other day that's actually like it's like in the spec or something. And I was really surprised, but it's actually really common to see that apparently.
But I was telling Eliza, I don't like ST. For me, it's not, I don't know, somehow UV makes more sense in my head.
Is that right? Okay, so now, well, it's just because we've seen it so often.
Yeah.
So UV is basically just like XY, but XY was taken, so we use UV. And that's pixel position. So, every little, you can't see my mouse, can you, on the screen?
I think so, because your name appears.
Can you see my mouse? You can see my cursor in the text editor, but I think when I'm moving my mouse around on the...
when you move it, we cannot see. But if
but
you
basically,
keep it...
every little pixel that's in this black space in the CodePen has a position, an XY position, or a UV position. And that's what we're setting with that UV declaration at the top. And then we basically... we send in a color. So here we want to declare color equals vec3. Just to start things off, we put 0. So if you happen to not be used to using types and you're like, what are these vectors? If they're like containers. So a vec2 it's like a container for 2 values, u and v, x and y. And here we've got a container for 3 spaces. So if I wanted to, I could put this. And it would change the color of the background. But we start with black because it's like we're painting with pixels. So let's start with black.
To 1.0 to show them that it could change to white.
Yeah. And so at the bottom here, we've got a container for 4 values, right? So you throw in the 3 values that you're getting from your vec3, and then this is the alpha channel. So if you wanted it to be like, if you want to play around with the alpha, you can with this value between 1 and 0.
Yeah, by the way, one thing that helped me to understand when I was learning, for anybody who's maybe like learning as well, how to parse the color in the GLFRAC colors, is to think of this vector 3 as the RGB literally spectrum. Like, for example, if there's a color that you like, and I'm gonna just pass, for example, because I know the RGB values for pink, which is the color that I use a lot in my art. So you can just pass in the colors, and then you will get already the color pink done in the background. So.
Yeah.
So if you know the RGB colors of any color that you like, that's how it starts coming in. Should we now maybe do a shape, like a circle?
Yeah, so now that we've
What do we
got
like?
the UV space, we can create a circle. I'm going to create that out here. So your circle is going to be a float.
Yeah, I think Eliza is going to create a function for now because it's going to be more useful.
Just like plug and play with it later.
Mm-hmm.
You got the center point. It's going to be it's going to be a back to 0.5, and you're going to subtract UV, and then I'm going to grab whoops, not this. I'm going to grab the length of the center point, basically, and return it. You probably could have stuck that all in one line, but whatever. Okay, so I'll also need to pass in the UV position in order to use it. And now we have a gradient circle in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, I already want to have.
Oh yeah, you already applied my function.
Yeah,
cool.
I went already. Too fast.
One step ahead. Awesome. So yeah, we are basically just like you're setting the color based on the pixel position. The farther away from the center it goes, the whiter it gets. What if we wanted to constrain and have it more of like a defined circle?
Yeah, exactly. Because right now, if you look, I'm going to move a little bit this so that you see what happens if the screen gets bigger. And as you see, this kind of ellipses, which doesn't look like a circle, is like
squishy.
Yeah, it's moving together depending on what size my screen has. So we're gonna fix that. We're gonna make it, we want to maintain this aspect ratio even if we resize the screen. And we wanna have our UV coming from the center. So there's a little hack that I'm gonna use here instead of, I'm just gonna comment this one. So it's not.
Yeah, we're gonna basically kind of reset the way that we were interpreting screen space. Exactly. So where did you find this again? You found it. I didn't know about this hack until I met you, and I was so happy to find it because one of my biggest like kind of pet peeves with shaders was always that they would get so squished when I moved my screen.
Yeah, to put 0. So now it's a circle, and I will explain where I got this, but I'm resizing now. And you see that the circle is maintaining its aspect ratio. So it's no longer an ellipsis, it's an actual circle, which is what we were trying to do. And yeah, where did I learn this? So I learned this little hack from, here's another, probably through our stream, we're going to give a lot of shout outs to many people. That we admire and heroes. So here's another one that it's Yuri. And I will not say his last name because I'm going to say it wrong because he's from Ukraine. So, but his handle on Twitter and YouTube, it's 𝗏𝗀𝗀. And he's teaching on YouTube, WebGL, a lot of 3JS stuff and shaders. And so I learned this one-liner in one of his tutorials. If he's out there, thank you so much. And thank you so much for explaining it to me too.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Yeah, exactly. Because the math here, what it's doing is helping us to maintain the aspect ratio, but also move the UV that starts normally in shaders in the lower left corner, right? So...
Well, because so normally the way that we had it set up before was the top right was 0, 0, the top left was 0, 0, and the bottom right was 1, 1. So that's your space, your UV space between 0 and 1. And this moves it to the center. So whereas, can you see my cursor up here where the center point is? Originally, I had it set to 0.5 because 0.5 was the center point, right? But then with 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀's hack, we can create the center point as 0. And so you're saying, where is the XY, aka UV, of each pixel in reference to the center point? But this caused a lot of confusion for us the other day. And so we hacked 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀's hack, which Alicia is going to show you now by adding a +5. So now this
𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀's hack was leaving us a spectrum of -0.5 to 0.5.
Yeah.
And we wanted to normalize it for -1 to 1. So then just we have the hack a little bit. And now Eliza.
So now I can put it back to the original 0.5. And still the screen won't squish our circle, which makes us very happy.
Back because why is pink right now? Hold on. Because I have to reload.
Did your screen go pink?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, that happens every once in a while. That's sometimes CodePen doesn't refresh properly, but that's okay.
But now you see the circle, and I can still resize, and everything is cool. We have our spectrum in shader world from -1 to 1.
Yeah.
And now we can continue adding more layers and everything.
So let's maybe try and use step function to create
to have our circle more clear.
Like pronounced circle. So let's use, I'm going to do step. Step basically tests pixel position against a point that you, like a position that you give it. So I'm just going to copy this into here.
Yeah, greetings to everybody from Ukraine. Somebody said my fellow Ukrainian, so speaking about 𝗘𝗶𝗶𝗀, I think so.
Oh, cool.
I mean, Yuri.
Did I do that right? Did I break something? I think I broke something.
You did. I know. I can see it. It's because you need a vector.
Oh, obviously, I didn't wrap it in it. Yeah, so typed languages. I code in Unity, and I still make these mistakes. So now we have a humongous circle.
Huge. Let's make it smaller.
Let's make it smaller.
So I like to think of step because when you start doing sometimes things with shaders, it's always like this grading effect. But when you want to get rid of the grading effect, it's nice that then you can use something like step to have the color stop fully.
Yeah. All right, I was just adding, I like to keep the color 0 at the top so we remember that we start with a blank page.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, so step in this case makes it's testing the pixel position. And so anything that's greater than the 0.25 is going to be white, and anything that's less than that is going to be black, because that's our color right now. And that's why you can use it for size, but you can use it to just divide up the screen as well. That's what's great about step. It's like
I would say that it's just
really
making more literally like removing the gradient effect and just making it more of a stop from one shape or color to the other.
Yeah. And if you want to get the fuzzy edges back, you can use smooth step, but we might do that later, but not now.
Yeah.
For now, we like the hard edges. Okay.
I feel like maybe now that we show them how to pass color and maybe now it's understood and circle, let's maybe start adding or creating or like actual piece of art. Yeah. So maybe we can make a grid.
Do you want to do the grid or we can do the grid first. Yeah. Okay. So one of my favorite functions is the step function. One of Alethea's favorite functions is fract, which is really handy because it fractions out your screen.
I like to think of them as fractals.
You think of it as fractals.
I was telling Eliza that's how I understood fract, because in my mind I was thinking, fractals, and then I associated, and every time in shader world I want to do like literally a grid, or you want to do 10 things, for example 10 circles instead of one, then I just use fract.
I mean, I love it. I never thought of fractions as fractals, but I love fractals. I dream of one day coding 3D fractal shaders. One day I'll get there. So I love to think of fract as fractalizing the 2D space. So how does this function work? Do you want to explain? Fract can be anything, right? It can be a vector, it can be a float.
Fract can be anything. You can input inside float, a vector 2, a vector 3. It's up to you. I just want to pass here the grid into the color so that we can see actually something to see if I'm okay. So you see, for example, I made some lines. That's what I meant. Whenever you want to like just make some more than one object, a fract is very useful.
Yeah. So here you multiplied the x value of the pixel position by the number of times you wanted to divide up the screen.
Yeah. And by the way, just so that everybody who's watching, because if, for example, if I put 5, we only see 3. We will not see the exact number that I'm putting here just because we will need to resize the window. So in that sense, and since we added the hack to kind of like maintain the aspect ratio, it's always adding more depending if you have the screen, right? So
yeah.
So just so that it doesn't trip you that maybe you don't see the exact amount on the screen that I'm putting here, because if I would make it big, you see that like the screen is adding more to save for that for using.
Cool.
But we wanted to make kind of like a grid, like
yeah,
squares.
So I guess like, yeah, logically, if we did it with the X, we can do it with the Y. And it was, I wish coding was that simple. And I mean, you can sort of do that in JavaScript. Times okay, so here's a fun thing while she's setting that up that I really kind of clicked for me the other day. So if you think of shaders, if you've used Photoshop before, for a while, I wasn't really like when to use multiply, when to use plus, I didn't really understand why I was using one over the other. And the other day, I really figured out that when you multiply, it's like creating another layer in Photoshop and just like overlaying it. So when you use plus, you're adding to the same layer. So if you multiply here, you're basically overlaying those two lines, which is why you get the grid effect, right? What would happen if you use plus?
I can change it to plus and we're still gonna see a grid.
It's gonna be brighter, yeah.
Exactly, just because you're adding it to it instead of overlaying it. So in this sense, that's why I was multiplying, because I didn't want it so much light on our grid, but instead kind of like layering it up.
Yeah, I guess you wouldn't really be able to tell the difference with just the horizontal or vertical lines. It's really the colors that drive home that layer point. It's like literally, if you've ever used the multiply layer, like color layers in Photoshop, it like burns everything together in a way that if you add to a color, it doesn't. Cool. Okay, so we have a grid. Yay. Yeah. Let's try and maybe add some colors.
Yeah.
Because let's see. Do we want to use mix first? Do we?
Yeah, we could do that. So we could define some colors. You can choose one color and I can choose one.
I mean, I'm gonna stick with a very boring but my favorite color, which is, where should I put this?
We can
below the grid or no, above the grid?
I'm not sure, so just put it somewhere and then maybe up there is better actually. Yeah, so then we can use it overall.
My favorite color is yellow, so we're gonna do yellow. It's the happy color. There we go. That's yellow, right? RGB. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a yellow.
I think you're missing a dot there.
Oh, always the dots, yeah.
And then I'm gonna define, I think this time I'm gonna define the pink, see where that takes us. And, oh, you're missing a 3 here too. Hold on.
Sorry.
No, don't worry. It's fine. I think it's gonna happen to me at some point. So. Oh yeah, comma. So, because this one I already know by heart. And
what's your favorite pink? Okay, so now we're gonna probably
change the background in CSS because it's flashing pink all the time. It should flash black instead.
Should it?
Now we have the two colors, yeah, and we can add them. Maybe with mix.
X3 gradient equals mix, and so we're gonna mix. Let's do yellow into pink, and I'm just gonna put 0.5, but we can change that after. And then, where do we add that? I can't remember suddenly. Are we timesing the color by gradient?
Actually, what we could do is, I'm gonna move the gradient that you defined already, and we can bring it down here for a bit. And we can actually, instead of the 0.5, we can input the gradient here.
Yes, I forgot.
And
yes,
then add the gradient to the color and then we might be able to see some color.
Yay! This is awesome. This makes me so happy. It's like, how do you stitch together all the little pieces? It's you have to like slip in the grid to the gradient so the grid
It's the interpolation point, kind of.
Are interpolating the colors together. Oh, I love that.
By the way, if there's some people like that has been doing or is doing front-end too, like CSS, I was telling Eliza too that for me, the way I understood mix, it hit me like, especially if I wanted to do like something like this, like gradienty. On CSS, when you want to do a gradient, you will have always to define a color, then the other color, and then your color stop in percentage. So basically that's what the last value is. You're defining where it is on the spectrum, but in this case, we could also like put this little element that we draw with pixels, which was a grid. So. And yeah,
so if I want the pink
like
on the bottom, I just swap them, right?
Yeah, swap them and let's show
so
them.
Easy. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. So this is what I was saying before. Sometimes, depending on how you place your colors, for me now it feels like there's like light creeping in from the distance, and that we're in some kind of 3D universe, which makes me really happy.
I really love it.
Do you prefer this way or the other way?
Oh, I don't know. I like both.
Okay, cool.
At this point, I think I don't mind because I really like both.
Let's stick with this then.
Yeah,
it feels more mysterious.
If you prefer that one, let's stick with that. Okay, cool.
Awesome. Do you want to skew the cubes, or do we want to keep a traditional grid?
No, let's move them.
Okay, so
I'm gonna go with my 45 degrees.
I
like 45 degrees, but yeah, you can go ahead and let's try to tilt them. So
yeah, so let's like slant them to the. I never know. I don't know if this is actually going to be to the right. I'm going to do plus y plus. I'm going to add them together. Get that
basically,
average.
if we want to tilt these squares, and they were done by having an x coordinate and a y coordinate together, now we have to kind of move that x coordinate a little bit to one side.
Yeah.
And you can push it by adding some of y.
I add that here, right?
You can't, yeah, you can, instead of the UVX, you can just write slant R.
Slant R times, yeah.
And then I'm going to create the other one. So I think we don't see anything because I'm creating the other one.
As we're typing, yeah.
UV, wow. But now we should see at least one of them slanted. Nice.
Okay, let me add yours in here. Slant L times.
So as you see, we see one side that is already tilted, and then we create another one.
Love it.
Which is
like
just mirroring with minus.
Oh, sorry. Did I do it with the
with
the minus? Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Cool. I'm liking it even more.
Yeah, me too. The lattice makes me forever happy. Cool. Okay, so we have our slanted.
Maybe now we can add some movement to it and start playing with this optical illusion, or
yeah, we can add some
waves.
Do you want to add like waves to the colors?
Yeah, that would be nice. So then we can see some movement, so pattern.
We get to use. I think for that, we have to use. I always call it 2π. You call it tau. You call it the way. I love it. It feels so like. Yeah. Those are the type of terminology that used to intimidate me a lot because I did not grow up thinking I was a math person at all.
Oh, well, me neither.
That's what are these terms? Anytime I read that in documentation, I like closed the book and walked away. But now I'm not scared of it anymore. So we can call it
the same for me.
Yes,
because I finally understood it when I saw it everywhere, like what it is.
So do we have pi in here? We do.
Yeah, I think I added it. I'm going to scroll. Meanwhile, you type, or maybe I wait and then I scroll and show them.
There.
I'm going to scroll up just to show them where pi is. So we have defined pi here at the top of a fragment shader. This is another way that you can define some constant variables that are not about to change at all, ever, in your shader. And this is the syntax. And yeah, that's why we put it up here, because so we don't have to type this number, right? Like 3.14, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
We just put it up here, and then we can use it down here.
Yeah. And that's also why it's capitalized. That's what you were telling me before.
Yeah.
I didn't
True.
think about that stuff, but that's like a...
This is one of these, what is it called in English?
So, I know, I was just trying to think of the word.
Like one of the, like if you would do even JavaScript or CSS, there are these standards, it's called? Or?
Yeah, it's a standard. I think that's the right word. Sometimes people do, like I think in Unity we do an underscore.
Yeah,
When you're,
probably. Yeah, it's just like
yeah,
the way
it's a
to
standard.
read code.
And we're getting, are we getting
I'm gonna
hearts?
put a comment here. What?
So we got some hearts in the comments. I like the hearts.
me too.
So pi is like radians. So if you're used to thinking in Cartesian coordinates, pi is a half moon, half circle, and 2 pi, or tau, is like a full turn. Hopefully that makes sense to people.
Yeah, we decided to really use tau, just because if you look for, and you want to learn math like we did, when we wanted to understand more, you will see a lot of documentation mentioning tau.
There's an amazing GIF online that kind of plots the way that a sine or a cosine wave actually draws a circle, which is very on point for what we're about to do, because to create a variable that allows us to kind of add some movement, we're going to use a sine function here, and we're going to send in a uniform, which is basically, if you want to scroll up and show them where we grab,
So Eliza is using the U time, which is defined here up.
But a uniform is bringing something that's not in shader code into shader code, right? So like in Three.js, you can pass in all kinds of uniforms, which is what's fun for when you do audio viz.
I'm going to open just real quick to show them.
Sure.
In this case, because we're bringing the uniforms from Three.js. So here is where you would define them in Three.js. Anything that you want to like kind of transfer from, depending on where you're using shaders. Like I imagine if like when Eliza is working in Unity, you're bringing the uniforms from somewhere else. But in here, we wanted to be able to use the time to basically animate whatever we wanted, and the resolution of our screen. And those are the two uniforms that here at the top we define. And then we can use anytime we want.
So we're passing u time into the sine function because it creates a cycle. That means that the time will bounce back and forth. It won't just like continue on forever and melt our processors. I'm going to times it by 0.5 to make it not too fast.
Yeah.
And then what can we do with it? What did we do with it?
We can kind of maybe define, I imagine a floating thing for a wave, and we can just call it wave.
Yeah.
And the wave, the order that, just like you were mentioning before, to make a wave, you basically have a sine, and then you have a cosine.
So they're both basically the same wave, but they just start and end at different parts of their phase.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have two, then two waves. We can have two waves.
Yes.
Or we can start with one so that we don't make them crazy. And then we can add the other one to see. Actually, I was just like slowing myself. And then in here we could like maybe use the slant. Yeah, so one of the lines that we have up there.
Oh, yeah.
And
cool.
then we could then time it up with, we already have, maybe we can, we can have tau here. Or let's just try that for now and see if that's actually gonna help us to do something.
Okay, and then
we can add more. Like we can add it, for example. I'm just gonna split things up here in the grid so that we can see them better. Maybe we can add one wave here and see what happens. So we see the wave, but it's not moving.
It's not moving.
Because, hold on a second.
I thought that was my computer freezing. I was like, wait a second, why isn't it?
No. Because maybe before tau, I'm just gonna try maybe just having the time. for
Isn't
now. Before
tau?
tau. Hold on.
Tau
Okay.
contains time
Just
already.
times.
Oh, it
Okay.
was moving too slowly. My bad. Wait, let's put back
Okay.
tau.
Yeah.
I think I
can
just
see.
made it really slow. Let's just not multiply it by, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, it's
True.
moving,
Yeah.
it's moving
I think
slow.
exactly now it's
Oh, because
moving.
of the plus?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Why
why I
isn't,
wanted to test scene U time alone because I wasn't sure if it was. But now, yeah, exactly. So I
I
think
feel
it's
like it's
nice.
moving slower though than it would normally, or maybe it's just the colors. That's so
No, no.
interesting. Cool. Why did
I see
I,
some
okay.
movement.
In my head, U time sped up a lot, but I guess I'm wrong.
I think it depends because sometimes it does. It has happened to me. So I think it's better just to wait it, like to test it. And then if it's too
Yeah.
fast, then you slow it down or you speed it up depending on what you want. Because I know that other times for me, it feels, depending on where you're applying it, like it feels like more.
It's so gentle right now. I'm like shocked, but cool. Amazing. So, okay.
We
I
can
think
add
if
like
we
a scene here
wanted,
just to see. I just wanted to try and see if we add
yeah,
like
sure.
like the opposite wave instead of this
Smoosh
like
all the things together, yeah.
yeah the other one with the other slant.
And so here we're overlapping. So how will that look? I'm curious.
Yeah, me
So we're
too.
not adding to the rhythm, we're overlapping the rhythm. Ooh, yeah, it looks like bubbles, but it looks cool.
That's it.
Yeah, it is very gentle. I think it's because of our colors, but that's cool. I'm not mad about that at all. It's
No,
so
but I don't
pretty.
see a difference actually.
Oh, you
Is the
don't?
red
Wait, let me
different?
times it. Let me amplify it for
Yeah.
you. There, you're gonna see it now. It's just very subtle.
Ah, okay.
I think I
Yeah,
have.
yeah, 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 yeah. I see it. Okay, now I see it. Yeah, it took me a second there. Okay, I like
It's
that.
shiny. So one thing you guys should know is that we are very into iridescence. It's like our forever quest to get as close as like an iridescent sheen as we possibly can. And I think we're getting better and better at it, and it makes me very happy.
You can mention another of our heroes because I cannot say
Who?
his French name on Instagram.
Oh, Le Jeune Renard. Yeah, Le Jeune Renard. Shout
Yes,
out to him.
that
He's
one.
amazing. I'm sure a lot of you, everyone probably knows. If you don't, look up Le
Oh
Jeune
yeah,
Renard.
he's
Type it
doing
into the chat. I'm sure
beautiful
everyone knows.
holographic work. Like
Yeah, he does amazing ray marching, and he's recently gotten back into fractals, which makes me very happy. Yeah, he's really, really cool, and his output is pretty impressive.
yeah,
He's really good at iridescent stuff in general. And colors, but colors are notoriously like, yeah. Someone, when I first started in creative coding, told me that colors were notoriously hard to manage, and so I got really intimidated by them. But I think if you just poke around, eventually you find your way. You just have to
yeah.
not.
That maybe that's a good moment to say that maybe for somebody who feels intimidated by these topics, right? So that it's just that you have to really like if you really want to learn it, you might feel intimidated in the beginning because I think we all did, but you just had to keep trying and have patience. I think that's very important because sometimes as well it's a little bit tricky to, you know, when you follow people in social media and you see them posting all of this stuff and then you're like, oh my God, I want to do that, but I can't. But you have to like sometimes understand that maybe some of the people have been for years working on their craft, and I can see myself when I started doing shaders in April. Of course I couldn't come up with this like so fast as we're doing it right now. Probably would take me like 2 weeks, not even that, to figure it out. What was that?
Sorry, I think something just exploded.
What? Are you
Something just
okay? I thought it
exploded in
was a
my
cat or something because I heard.
That was the kitchen lamp just exploded.
Oh no.
I just
Are you
ruined it
okay?
for everybody. I'm sitting in my kitchen.
And I thought it was a cat, honestly, but you don't have a cat,
That's
right?
very scary. Nothing's on fire, so I think we're good. Okay, cool. That's never happened to me. It's happened to me in Canada, but never in France. But here, the voltage is way higher than in North
Yeah,
America,
I
so
know.
that's
Yeah, when I
very
moved here, I brought my America connections. Like we just put like this, like what's it called, adapter without the converter of the energy. And I remember the first time I plugged in something, like poof, the whole flat went. Like, and
I'm going to turn off like one of the lights.
yeah,
Just to make
go
sure that.
go ahead.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'll be here. We'll be waiting. I can continue telling everybody that, yeah, don't give up on when you're doing stuff, like just be patient, and patience pays off. I'm telling you, like just be patient and keep on and practice, and the more you practice slowly without realizing, you are crafting or doing stuff faster than you would think so. And yeah, what else? Like, yeah, because Eliza and I, that's probably another reason why we got along as we are working on this collaboration together, because we have a similar background that neither of us study computer science or math. I have a background when I went to uni studying marketing, and I believe Eliza studied production and media. So, and we used to work in our fields for some time before we even explored the web world. So we are totally self-taught, and now I enjoyed reading math. I was just telling them that our background is like zero math, zero computer science, and that we learn on our own now as we develop the interest, like buying books and checking out blogs, experimenting.
Sorry, I think someone asked me the name of Le Jeune Renard, so I'm just typing it. Le Jeune Renard.
Oh, I can put it in the chat because I'm actually.
That's me. I think I just put it. If you look him up on Instagram, you'll find him. So sorry about that lamp.
Are you okay, by the way?
Yeah, I was telling my roommate because he just got home. I was like, has this ever happened before? It's not happened before, so we'll look at it later. Everything's fine.
But nothing burn like.
I can smell like an electrical burn, but I think it's okay. But yeah, self-taught. I think that's what you were talking about.
Yeah,
right?
I was just telling them that we started to learn math when the stuff that we wanted to do with the code requires it. So then we were like, okay, let's get on. Okay, I found it. I'm gonna share in the Twitch. This is the artist that we were talking about, by the way.
He's awesome. Yeah.
I cannot say his name.
I really wish that when I was in high school that math was taught through creative coding, honestly. Like I remember rediscovering math and physics because of Dan Schiffman and his lovely YouTube channel and his book, The Nature of Code, and just like being like, wow, it all feels so much more fun and like intuitive. Like I can touch it almost and, move, play with all of these like natural forces in a way that was not... which is just like not conveyed through a textbook, I guess I'd say. But yeah.
Yeah, totally.
The only other thing I was going to add to what you were saying before about being self-taught is for me, it was really about getting used to like being patient with myself and just getting used to the idea that I wouldn't always, it took me so long to get comfortable with the idea of using stuff that I didn't understand.
I told them, I was telling them, I forgot to tell you that I told them that they have to be patient with themselves, that you cannot like compare yourself sometimes with even people that you admire and you want to get to that level. You have to be patient and maybe even another person starting like you is going to like advance faster than you, but you have to be understandable that we are not the same as human beings. Like some people learn really quick, others not, but that doesn't mean that if you feel that you're a slow learner because another person is learning faster that you should quit. You shouldn't. Like, why? Just be patient with yourself. It's gonna come.
Totally. I had like a revelation this summer because I was playing with these. These are the pixel shader cards that go with the book of shaders that Patricio made, and he occasionally reissues them, so keep your eyes peeled if you're into that. But they're basically like cards that have code on, I don't know if this is in focus at all, cards that have code on one side and pictures on the other. And I have had the deck for a while and was intimidated by them because it's like, I don't necessarily understand what the code is doing always. But as I gave myself time to just like code what was on the cards, like I gave myself a challenge, try and learn like the first 10 cards by heart. The like 100th time that I typed in that card, suddenly I was like, oh, that's what that does. That's what this is for. And then all of a sudden it was like in my skin. Like, I guess, I don't know if that makes sense, but you know what I mean? When it becomes intuitive and you're just kind of like, how did I not understand this before?
It's the same for me when I would look at the book of shaders. I think a developer friend sent it to me last year when I was learning WebGL. Felix, another shout out if you're watching. And he's from here, from Hamburg. And when Felix sent me that and I was browsing it, I was like, I don't know, reading a complete like foreign language, like for example, Chinese is to me, or Russian, like I see this and I don't understand. So it was like that. And I think for months I didn't touch it until finally I was like, okay, I have to just give it a try, because anyway, like with code, I would think that it's like learning a language when you speak. Like, for example, I live now here in Germany, and when I moved here, I couldn't speak German, and it was the same. I didn't understand a thing. But slowly you start learning, and then it starts like making sense in your ears, or in the sense of coding is the same, like slowly starts. I think somebody asked a question right now on Twitch.
Yeah, I was just trying to get the URL. I was going to ask you, can you type into the chat the 𝗶𝗶𝗱𝗀𝗀 URL? I think sure. I'm going to disappoint a lot of people in the chat because I don't think that there are any left.
Patricio, no, they're not. I've been trying to order them myself, and sadly it's sold out. I don't know when Patricia will be doing again.
Every like
you can
year.
Write him. I wrote him, so I guess
you
more
can
people
try messaging him on Instagram. But
so
I heard a rumor that he was making a booster deck for it or something like that, but that was a year ago, and I know he has small children, so I don't know, guys. But there is a repo on GitHub where you can access the code for each of the cards. So even if you can't get
the repo, I mean,
through
do you have the URL?
Sorry.
Well, I sent them the website. I don't know if the repo is there, but at least I sent them the website.
I think you can get to the repo through the 𝗶𝗶𝗱 Shader Deck website. Wow, that's a lot of things to say.
If somebody finds it, just put it in the chat for the others, because I couldn't find it quick.
Someone's saying they had the same experience with the Book of Shaders. Yeah.
And somebody before that was asking how we met, because I think he just got in.
Oh,
and I was just going to say that, I'm in Hamburg, Germany, and Eliza is in Paris.
Paris.
I'm in Paris. In Paris. And we met in a CODAME. Speaking of CODAME, who's organizing this wonderful event, they run workshops normally outside this festival. So they were running a series of shader workshops taught by char styles, and that's how we met. We ended up in one of those break rooms,
breakout rooms, super randomly. It's super fun.
Exactly. So we totally recommend, by the way, char workshops to learn shaders, and also because you get some time with the people, and that's how we met. So
that was a really fun aspect of those workshops. Actually, was that you got to go into breakout rooms and code a little bit, and then everyone shared their shaders after, and it was super fun to see everyone's
I would always be inspired exactly as well, because you learn as well from the others, because some people would just tweak something and then show, I added like a very small floating number and then like this effect. So that was very cool to see as well.
That's what I like about shaders, though. There's so much that you can do with the tiniest bit of code. Like even here, we don't have that much code, and we've managed to make some
pretty already.
Yeah.
But we want to add more stuff, of course.
Let's add more things. Yeah. Do we want to add more shape to the colors? Oops, sorry, that was me. I just deleted some empty space.
What?
Or do we want to maybe add, I don't know, do we want to add another type of shape? I don't know if we want to do that.
Yeah, we can try to add the circle. I mean, we
have that function hanging out at the top. It's true.
Yeah,
we have the
so
circle.
We can try to add maybe dots.
Let's make some dots.
Kind of like smaller than the squares.
So we need to then take we have one circle up here, and we need to basically...
Okay. Maybe we should take it down. Just bring it down. I think it's easier.
Let me grab that. Delete that. So we have colors, we have the slant, we have our movement, we have our grid and our gradient. I'm going to put it above the gradient. Or below the gradient.
No, maybe put it below the color where we added the gradient. Maybe it's just better here for now.
Sorry, my indentation is terrible. One of the things that I really appreciate about Alicia is how well organized she likes her code, because I also like organized code, and it's really easy to read whenever I code with her. It's great. Cool. So we have one circle. Now, I guess we can make many circles by combining circle with our grid. But our grid is in gradient, so our grid will, by adding, our circles will be influenced by the pink and the yellow. So we might get some kind of weird colors. We'll see.
Well, that's a thought right now that I'm just having, because we could do Yeah, we could try either way, because I was thinking we could just fract either, or maybe we could just try out the circles in the grid, you know?
Yeah, we could try.
Let's
Should
try that.
we? Okay, so then I would put, I'm going to move circles above gradient? Above grid.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put this up here. Circle is a float, right? Because it's basically just calculating the distance from our center point, and we want to calculate that center point.
Oh, there's a graphic designer. Yeah, by the way, I used to be a graphic designer before I even became a developer.
Oh yeah, that's something else that
𝗙𝗫𝗀𝗀
and I haven't commented. I don't know if you mentioned that when I was afraid of the fire.
I did.
But we have a lot of similar kind of overlapping like themes in our life, including that we've had many different like career lives. I think both of us are very curious and get bored easily, so that's probably why coding is so interesting. There's always more to learn. But I used to work in video and in advertising. I was a journalist for a brief period of time, content creator, cringe. And
no offense. Did sales in marketing, so cringe.
It's very fast moving kind of universe that doesn't always vouch for quality. Sometimes though it does. Okay, but that's off topic. Where should I put my circle? I want to make circles plural. So we're not going to fract. We're just going to add them to the grid.
Yeah, I was just thinking first, let's just try to add it to the grid. And then we will fract them later.
In the vector, yeah? Because it's a float, so yeah.
Actually, I was thinking just to do, for example, here, grid.
Times.
Then, first. Is that called times in English?
Or else it'll just change the colors. It won't actually make a shape.
And grid is a vector tree, isn't it? So I forget, but I think so. So then we can just try and do this and see what happens.
Cool. I need to not lean into my screen.
Okay, we have like the full circle.
The sun.
It's not what I was expecting, but it's interesting. And then I will multiply it, like layer up on top of it. So maybe the colors are just going to change. Yeah.
Comes from, I think, he's coming from game design?
I don't know what GT is.
Sorry, graphic design. That makes sense. Coding is intimidating. Yeah, coding is intimidating. I was like, how is
somebody who works in advertising too? Yeah, well, me too. I mean, I used to be a copywriter, so creating concepts and shaping brands for many years.
Yeah. Well, I was giving a talk the other day, and as I was preparing for it, I was trying to figure out what the common thread was through my work, and it was interesting because I realized that the same things that interested me when I was in journalism and in advertising and everything was the thing that I was exploring with code, which was basically like I like to do interactive work that kind of tickles your senses kind of, and like, I don't know, weirds you out just enough that you're just like, oh wait, what? And you get called back into like the moment and you just kind of are in your body again. And it was kind of like the same, because I was a brand strategist for a while. And in journalism, the same, you're like looking at what makes people react and why and stuff.
Same. But we have similar stories, the same. You know, and sometimes when I think about it, because for me, honestly, coding, it didn't came like at the time that I decided, now I want to try. I've been exploring coding since I was 15 and learned HTML. And my brother studied computer science back then. So, and he used to have a band playing music. And I remember we used to sit and make like these websites for the bands, like with Dreamweaver and Flash and all this shit. So, and I found it very cool and exploring Photoshop. But somehow back then, and I've said this before, I think at least in Mexico, in my time, I wouldn't see so many women like developers. So, and I would assume when I was a teenager, like, oh no, I don't want to be like this nerd, like dressed in black, sitting in a room with a bunch of dudes. Like
we're both wearing black tonight.
Yeah, I know. But I think back then is what this stereotype that I was
but computers weren't marketed to girls. If you look back at the 80s and the 90s, they were marketed to boys, not girls.
So sometimes I think it was maybe a lack of a role model, because even when I have a lot of heroes which are men, it's not the same if I don't find like a woman doing something that I love, that I can mirror myself and say, yes, I can could be this woman.
Yeah, totally. I think I played around a lot with like, I was there for like I missed the early internet. Early internet was great. I was really into making websites back when like, I'm going to really out myself for my age at this point, but I used to have a Zanga page. I had an Apartment 107 page. I had a Black Planet page. I had an Asian Avenue page because I went to high school in Vancouver and like all my friends were Asian. And so everyone was on Asian Avenue and we were all just like personalizing our websites. I had GeoCities websites up the wazoo, like I had all of it. And then I stopped, missed the entire like advent of CSS. And when I came back to it, I was like, what is this? It's so confusing. And then slowly started getting interested in it again when they released P5 JS. Because I was super into processing, but I was really annoyed by the applet way back in like, what was it, 2010? So I kind of was like, never mind. If I can't share it easily, I don't want to do it. But now there's so many good resources.
Yeah, it is. And for me, it was just like I was doing a lot of Flash until it died. And then I just stopped looking what was in Creative Coding World until like just very recently. But now I feel like it's really nice for somebody who's starting because there are so many options and the internet as well has grown. So many tutorials and places to learn as opposed like, I don't know, even 10 years ago. So.
Definitely.
Oh, Angelfire. Somebody's like...
Yeah. Oh, Angelfire. I forgot. Yeah, Angelfire.
Yeah, I forgot that too. Yeah.
Lots of Angelfire.
GeoCities too, no? So...
Yeah, there was a lot of them. I'm trying to remember what else. There was a few. After Apartment 107 came out, I don't know if you guys had that. That might have been very West Coast Canada.
The Apartment 107, I don't...
Do you remember?
A show? Or what do you mean?
No, it's like a... So there was... Do you remember Black Planet?
No.
No, so there was the first one was Asian Avenue. It was like a hub for you could make a single page. You had to log in, and everyone had a single page that they could decorate with like a guest book and like floaty whatever gifts everywhere. And then Black Planet arrived. Asian Avenue was supposed to be closed, but people like of all creeds and cultures would come in anyways. And then Black Planet appeared, and everyone went in there. And then Apartment 107 appeared, and then Friendster appeared.
Okay.
And then Facebook.
No, that one I didn't.
Oh, and then MySpace. I forgot about MySpace.
MySpace, that one I know. Yeah, MySpace. Yeah, MySpace. I want, but Apartment. No, I guess GeoCities and Angelfire ring a bell too for me, at least in Mexico.
And Tumblr. I miss Tumblr.
Yeah, Tumblr, for example, too. Yeah, that I remember those times. Or just
going down internet memory lane.
So yeah, anyway, the circle. So this is not what we wanted.
That's what we were trying to do. Sorry, guys.
We deviate often, by the way. Even when we're on our own, I think we always
like... It's true. Yeah, it's already 8. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
okay,
but I think we're doing good. I mean, we're just adding our dots and then we're going to have something cool. So MySpace, best internet era. Yeah.
Best internet era, yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm going to give another shout out to my dear friend, 𝗘𝗶𝗊 over there, because she got me into creative coding actually. So
really?
A year and a half ago. So she's a graphic designer too, and I didn't know about it, and she was already starting to explore it. And then I was like, yes, I can help you because I'm a developer. And then I realized like this is exactly, I can blend in my two passions, graphic design and and so
it's awesome.
Great. Okay. So should we go back to it and then maybe try what we were trying to do before, then to add the circle in the grid, so that we
let's like make more than one circle.
Yeah. So I don't like this one.
Because 15 is fracked.
And then I think actually I'm gonna go down here below and just I think I'm gonna create
top 8. Sorry, I was reading the comments.
No, it's fine.
So we need to use fract with our
circle. I'm gonna push the circle again below because I want to try here again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Moving things around, and then okay, we have a circle, and then maybe we can have a big 3 that we can call it dots. And this is where we can try to fract or circle.
Fractalize. So are we gonna fract, or so are we gonna use the circle and then UV?
I'm gonna first the same amount. I think, I call it amount to this variable that is kind of called in the grid.
Oh, it's up here, yeah.
And
Okay.
for now, let's try that, and then we can expand those. I'm gonna try to add them to the color.
People remember that what we defined amount, we defined it at the top.
I'm gonna scroll
the
back
amount
soon. Yeah, I'm gonna
amount of
scroll.
lines that we have, so it's going to be the same for the circles.
And I fucked it up somehow. Hold on.
I'm sure it's just like a missing dot somewhere.
Hold on a second. Frag circle is a floating number amount. Oh, here's amount. By the way, I'm scrolling up to show.
Yeah.
Here's a variable that we use to.
So that's like what decided how many lines that we had.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're using it to define how many circles we have.
Exactly, but hold on. Why? Hold on. Big 3 dots, and then color is a big 3. And
Do we have to add it?
I think I'm doing something wrong, which I cannot see yet. Oh, if I add it, it's fine. Can you try the UV instead of the circle? Because, yeah, just try the UV, and you have to multiply it.
Dot X.
Yeah. UVX, and then.
Ooh.
But you need to.
Oh, multiply. My bad.
Yeah,
sorry.
normally it would be nice.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Ooh. Okay.
But
we have some
it's
lines.
there. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we're actually fracting. So
I actually don't mind that. Can we add circles on top of them?
yeah.
We can get rid of the lines, so we don't have to keep
Yeah,
them.
no. I was just trying to think how to like input the circles, because why it wasn't working with the circle.
Okay, so wait. Circle is a floating point number, so that should work. Circle.
Oh, I know why.
Wait, why?
I think we have to. Where are we? I'm gonna. Oh, you killed the lines. Okay, I'm gonna kill this for a second
Okay.
just to try something. So we're gonna input the circle, or convert it into like big 3, and I feel that maybe here is where we needed to fract, where we had the UV, and then had the amount.
Oh.
Inside the circle itself.
Yes. Good thinking. Yes.
Okay,
Because you're
I was lost.
playing with the step function in there.
I was just thinking that if we created one circle and we wanted to break it, maybe we needed to fract inside the function. So
absolutely, that makes sense. I hope that this makes sense to people.
Yeah.
I think yes.
I'm gonna just. Like,
and what's fun here is that
things up. So
we get the layer effect, which I love. But I think want to actually invert the.
I'm gonna multiply it so that we can get the colors.
Yeah. So now we have
black dots.
Black dots.
But it's better because it's not interfering with the other. By the way, this is one thing, I don't know if we already explained it, or maybe some people just jump into the chat, but for example, if you add the dots to the color, you see
that... actually, can I try something? Leave it with the plus. I want to try.
I wanted to explain them how you layer up. You know, so that if they multiply, instead of adding the dots, you see the dot by itself on top of the background, because when you multiply like this, when you have an element, or I don't even know how to call it, like an object in GLSL, for example, we had our color and we wanted to add something in there, but on top of it, like think of layers in Photoshop, multi-layering would be multiplying. But if I add it, I'm using the same layer. I'm adding the dots in the color. That's why I get a different effect, rather if I would just put it on top. Now you can try whatever. I just wanted to explain that.
No, it's cool. I want to try Smooth Step. Smooth Step is the same idea as the step function, except that it's like you also get a mix in there. So mix kind of like fuses two colors together. Sorry, I should finish my code before I start explaining this. But it creates like a soft edge. So here, I
can see it now.
But you can kind of see, maybe I'll make it even more pronounced.
Yeah.
You can kind of see that the edges of the circles are like fuzzy. Oh, that's funny. They're getting small.
It's like gradienty. So.
Yeah. And you can kind of see the sides of the cubes coming through, which is neat. I wonder if we can change the white though, or do you want to invert it to black and try and make
No,
this?
hold on. I want to try something like subtracted and see what happens.
Oh, thank you, Nerd Disco.
Okay. Oh, that's my friend Tim. Hello, Tim. Another shout out to Tim, who has been a wonderful mentor since I started the digital world, because he's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
And maybe we can invite people now, because he and Nerd Disco is Tim, who's gonna do a workshop as well on CODAME with Sam, another digital artist friend. And Sam created a software to create visuals, audio visuals, and then later on Tim jump in and help continue the development of this, I believe, with Sam. And they're giving a workshop on Thursday, I believe, of 𝗏𝗶, and we collaborated with them by sharing one of the shaders that we've done, Eliza and I. So they're going to play with our shader and make audio reactive visuals, and you should check it out.
Really yeah, I'm really excited for that. That's what I was going to say when you're about self-taught, is that along the way, you end up bumping into a lot of different people who come in and just, I don't know, it's specific for me in the that's cool. In the creative coding community in particular, for me, my experience has been so wonderful. People have been really, really cool and really excited to kind of just like discuss ideas with me, which is why I tend to have a better time in it than web development specifically, which was not my favorite experience. But we won't talk about that right now. I just think that you end up just landing on mentors that, yeah, there are just a lot of kind people, I think, in the creative coding community, like I said, who are really excited to.
Yeah, it is true. And
passion.
I think it's important kind of like to have, it's like when you go, for example, if you want to do sports, right? And then you get yourself a body because you want to be inspired to actually not like leave the trail of like whatever, if you're trying to run or bike, like it's somehow you are stronger if you have a body who's doing the sport with you. So I associate it with when you have friends that are like passionate about doing, for example, creative coding, then it's the same. You can talk about this geek stuff and inspire each other and lift each other, and this is exactly what I feel about the people, like you said, that has crossed paths with me, and then we became friends. Because with Tim it was like that. I met him because we both liked CodePen and created a one-day conference like 4 years ago in Germany, and that's how we met, just because we wanted to do that, and then we just became friends after doing this event together. So because I enjoy as well giving back in the community, because I take so much and I learn from people doing open source and going to free workshops, or sometimes I pay for the workshops. I don't mind, but I mean, like, these people spend their time, and once I got to the point where I could give back, I always love to give back, just because I feel it's like I believe in karma.
Yeah, I think people seem very, just in general, so excited to like share their code. It's not like they don't want to like keep their knowledge for themselves, and like there's just, I think, less of this vibe of like you should struggle because it was hard for me generations ago. Like, you know, there's some of that in the more traditional programming community I've found. So this is really neat. I think that this is
so I divided them. Do you see what I did?
Yeah, you divide. So dividing is less common. People I don't see it so much.
It's a layer, but behind somehow, and that's why it makes a different effect. So, but it's nice. I like it because it looks like now like this light.
Yeah.
So I like it. Maybe make it smaller somehow, or I don't know. We can change the amount actually, right? So up there,
definitely
5, like 10.
More glowy. You do like 10, yeah.
Then maybe everything is gonna get smaller and
everything will get teenier and tinier. Ooh, actually, do you want to?
Too big now.
It could be fun to make everything kind of dance.
Yeah, let's do that. I want to, but I somehow want to make the dots a little bit smaller than the. Because if I put, for example, 8, I think that's.
Oh yeah, smaller, but the cube's still big, no?
Yeah, exactly. Can you make them smaller? I think in the smooth step somewhere.
Yes, where is my smooth step? Okay, so before I made it 35 and they got bigger. So if I do 25 and 0.05, is that going to make them smaller?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
that
so,
makes them
right?
smaller.
So,
That's cute.
yeah,
They look like little
yeah,
raindrops.
yeah, I love it.
I like
And
that.
actually, I can see your holographic going on, like,
Totally.
like one of those papers or stickers that you buy. And,
Mhm. Sequins and shiny glossy paper.
yay.
Love that. And it's kind of snake skinny if there was like
Yeah,
some
well,
kind of psychedelic snake, I guess. But
if we
it's got
could,
like scales vibe
if we
to
make it
it.
a little bit smaller, it's gonna look more like snake. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe
Cool.
tiny,
Okay, so
tiny less small the circles. Oh, I'm
you
terrible,
want
but
them smaller?
you think so? Yeah, maybe. I feel like it's gonna be not so tiny small, but just
Do you want bigger?
a little bit bigger, I guess.
They
I
look
don't know.
like
What do
little.
you think?
I kind of like them like this.
Then let's skip them like that
Is
because
that
I
okay?
don't mind them. Yeah. So.
People seem to like it. Oh, people
Oh
like
yeah.
our explanation of the layers. Yeah, that was really
Ah,
a
okay.
turning point for me in my understanding of shader math.
Me too.
Really.
It was an aha moment, honestly. So
Yeah. It's nice to be able to have those analogies where you can be like, right, layers, Photoshop, the multiply, or just yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Then the math makes sense suddenly.
yeah,
You're like, how did I not understand that before?
yeah,
But that's what's
exactly.
great. It's the best feeling. Okay, so if I want to make the dots, circles, gradient, grid.
Oh, you can just do wave,
Yeah,
right?
that's
So
I wanted
we
to
already have it there.
think about how to do that. We're going to add tau to something.
You
I
want to move
think
the dots, right? Or what was it?
let me make a waves anim function, and then, or maybe I think I can take this and add to it.
But the other one was already animated, by the way.
That's very true.
So maybe
But I think
you.
I wanna like plus and then do this. Remember that mirroring thing that we did?
Ah, okay. Then I'm gonna call it just wave 2 because I think you're gonna mirror, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call it.
This is a little approach that we have worked out together over time that ends up being really handy.
Actually, I'm
It's
gonna
kind of
call
like
it mirror because I think that's how we figure it out. Yeah, just swap things around.
invert things then in such a way so then it like creates this like effect, but it's always going to be sort of well, usually, I don't want to say always, but usually it's complementary. And then I think that that's correct.
But wait, now you have
It's
somehow it
not
looks
making
bigger. I mean, it looks longer.
it looks
Even
what?
though it's, it looks longer, like the equation, because
Yes, because I added the
okay, you added a little bit more to it.
I
Okay.
added cosine, like I added the same thing but inversed.
Okay, so then I'm gonna call it waves too.
Wait, maybe I want to do it this way because or else they're
Okay.
kind of the same. Yeah, that makes more sense. Slant left and slant right.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Can you tell that there's a difference at all? Yeah.
I do, but I just call it waves too because it's not a truly mirror, but it's a mirror plus like the still. So I just call it like waves too. So.
What if I do plus instead of multiply?
Well, apply it and then we will see. So.
Oh yeah, we haven't even used it yet.
No, because then we will not be able to see. So, but if you apply it, then we can.
We haven't put it anywhere. Okay, so where do I want to put? If I want waves 2 to make the whole grid of circles move, then I need to add it to here, I think. No? Am I crazy?
That's
I
the
added
grid.
it to
No,
grid.
because that's a grid.
No, that's not right.
That's gonna move something else.
It's going to make the colors very intense.
It's moving.
But
That's nice. It's a different effect, but it's like making the background actually.
Yeah, that's not what I was going. How do we do that then? Gradient, grid, UV, fract, circle, plot.
Yeah, in the circle.
Do you have an idea? I don't know.
Yeah, I have an idea here in dots. Right? I think in dots.
Yeah.
I think inside there.
Oh, do I just multiply dots by?
I think you can just add waves for now, and then see.
I want the whole. Oh.
But they change color too. Interesting.
That's really funny.
Oh, because maybe it's not here. Hold on a second. Waves is a float. Maybe we can add it actually
Maybe
here
it
in
needs
the
to be
fract.
outside, yeah.
Yeah, I mean there is,
Okay.
because we don't lose
Not
the
what I was
color.
expecting, but the movement is fun.
Yeah, but now we can
So,
play with the movement without losing the color of this white thing.
yeah.
Well,
You get
let
to
me
weird.
try. I'm gonna try to outside the circle function and see if it doesn't break. Okay, clouds.
Wow. Yeah,
It looks
that's the
like
thing.
clouds. Nice.
Maybe if we wait, can I take this
Yeah, yeah.
and put it? Did we try this already?
I already tried it, but it makes them black. So
Oh,
I
right.
think in here, I mean, it's a similar effect, but then we lose the color. So it's better to apply it inside the.
Yeah. What
But
if?
what I didn't try is to multiply it. So you can multiply the amount here inside the fract.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Inside the fract.
Try to
Time.
multiply it. Yeah, because that I didn't try. And that's a different effect, I imagine.
Right. Oh, yeah. That's true.
Oh, no, it's actually very similar to plus.
It's cute. But what if we just did circles times equals? This is probably going to be weird and ugly, but let's see.
No, we can try.
Is it all black? Great. All black. Oh wait, this can't. It's probably not. Waves is
No, it's float.
Float?
It's totally
Okay.
fine. It's a float, both of them. Maybe you need to add it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I don't think in this, no, it's not liking it. Why?
Circle.
Oh, no, hold on.
Circle?
No, yeah, it's circle, not circle.
My bad, typo, but still not ugly. This is kind of ugly. Let me multiply it.
Yeah, somehow it gets like bluish dark. So.
Oh, and then it just makes squares. Okay, so that's not what I want to
We'll
do
lose
at
the
all.
color somehow. By the way, for the ones that are watching, this is the way that we work through sometimes shade. Even when I'm on my own, like, I mean, part of the shade stuff, as you have seen, like we understand what we're actually doing, but it's fun as well to just try and test things that we don't know what we expect. And then a surprise comes and it's cool. So.
Yeah, so like sometimes we end up just repeating ourselves over and over again.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's not what I thought.
I feel that it has to be somehow here because it's the only way that is not changing color, you know, so here. And I think we need to tweak the waves to animation so that it's not so distorted. So maybe we have to...
Okay, so maybe it's just a question of like, maybe I should multiply instead of plus.
Yeah, for example, yeah.
Ooh, okay, so now we see the different kind of waves. It's just like, okay, so this is the layer thing again, right? You're layering a sine and a cosine wave together, so...
Oh,
did you change the thing?
Sorry, I wanted to try the other animation, the wave.
Go for it. Yeah, you can. Ooh, it's kind of like...
Wait, it's black. Or is it? For me, it's black. For you, not?
No, for me, it's pink
I have to
and yellow and white.
reload. Oh, it's very similar, isn't it?
I don't mind it. That was cute. It's kind of like glossy.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back to waves 2. Oh, please, CODAME. Waves 2. Okay. I'm gonna go to waves 2 because we can tweak that animation, I think, I feel.
Okay.
If we want to. No.
You're going back to waves 2 here? Okay. So if I... what if I do times pi? Will that do anything? Ooh. Okay.
Ooh, it's kind of circles.
So I made some like full circles with my waves.
Because they're turning.
That's funny.
I wonder...
No, I think I like it better like this.
Yeah.
What if I use tau?
I kind of like this effect, but I would like...
No, that's too big. No, that's too much.
I kind of like the dots being kind of distorted, but I would like it to be a little bit more random.
Yeah.
Before that. So,
What about if I divide? Will that make them random? If then I'm inverting... Oh, it's like little tendrils, little flower tendrils.
Yeah.
Kind of funny.
It's like flowers.
Yeah.
Or like plants, right?
Yeah. It feels suddenly very tropical.
Yeah, exactly. That's the word.
I feel like I should be drinking a mojito or something. Maybe, wait, we were adding, right?
Oh, yeah. Somebody mentioned in the chat, and yeah, maybe we can say it now for the people, that we are donating, yes, everything that,
All of the
because the
money.
event is for free, but if right now actually you feel like donating or giving back, just get a ticket, and when you like click on CODAME's checkout, it says donation, so you can put the amount that whatever you want. And in the end of this day, we want to donate to, it's called Code 24. It's an organization that is helping minorities in tech. So we just wanted to mention that in case,
Yeah.
like for the people watching the stream right now, don't know that, and maybe you feel like giving back during the holidays. So.
It is the season of giving.
Yeah. Ooh, that's much better. Yeah, that's
I
what I was
thought
talking
so.
about. Yeah. Because I
Yeah, so
wanted
I
some
swapped out.
random movement, but without losing the circles. Like.
Yeah, I added pi to waves too, and I divided instead of multiplied in two of the. Actually, maybe I should divide in cosine. Oh no,
Oh,
I
but
like
then
to
you
break
make
it the other way.
circles. I kind of like more the lights.
Me too.
I don't like the circles so much.
No, me neither. I like
Yeah,
this.
cool.
This is cute.
I'm glad that we're in the same channel. Because I think this is kind of nicer, like kind of lights
Definitely.
popping in.
I'm gonna make another.
Maybe we should move the grid a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah.
Should we
And
move
I'm
it?
going to make another variable to just have a different type of time to
Okay.
play with, just
Yeah.
because. It helps it feel more like alive and random, because or else everything moves at exactly the same pace. So now we
Yeah.
have a t variable that we
And
can
I'm
do
gonna
something
move the
with.
slant in here, and while you do that.
Okay. Wait, what did you do?
You're gonna add the variable, right? Like the t?
I did. Yeah, it's over here. I put it under. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we want to do slant down here. Or do you want me to put my t where your cursor is? Is that what you're saying?
No. Then I come down here. It's fine.
Slant R. What do I want to do?
Maybe
Plus
add it.
T. No? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's too fast.
But maybe, yeah, I think I would just multiply it for smaller, and I'm gonna add scene here, because maybe it's nice that it goes back and forth.
I don't like conveyor belts. So this is going to be nicer. But maybe also...
Hold on.
Maybe also
I
left.
don't see it going back and forth, is it? Oh.
Oh, my bad, sorry. But if you're adding sine, we should just add tau here, I guess, because it's the same.
Ah, okay, yeah, true.
Oh, okay, no, it's not. No, it's not. That's really fast. Oops. So I think that, yeah.
But wait. Just, you're not completely wrong. We can add tau. Yes, it's very fast, but we could slow it down, right? So
totally. This is a funny example of when we're using tau in the yellow and pink color movement, and it's moving really slow. And then here we're applying it to a different type of section, and it's moving super fast.
I think I want it in the other direction, so I'm going to try in the slant right. Yeah, now it's going back and forth, smooth, not as fast. I think that's a little bit nicer.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I like it when I don't know, I really enjoy the breathing feeling sine and cosine gives you.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of like when it's too glitchy.
Cool. Okay.
It's coming along, yeah. I like it. I wonder, should we try making even smaller squares now when we have them animated? I just wonder how is it gonna look. Yeah, then we get more of this holographic feeling. Don't we? Like this snake. Maybe it's nice.
Totally.
Do you think we should have less dots though?
We could try. Let's see if we can change, because right now we have equal amounts dots to cube ratio. Same. So we are using amount in here. No, where do we do that again?
Yeah, there. So maybe you can divide it.
I'm going to times it by 0.5. I need to put that in its own set of brackets. No, I don't. Cool. They're more distorted now. Wait, maybe I do need to put it in its own set of brackets then.
Do you need the brackets, by the way? I mean, the parentheses?
No, I don't think it changes anything.
No, I think
Order of operations is BEDMAS, right? That's the acronym. Brackets, addition, Nope. Yeah, we don't need it. It's like a throwback to grade 4 math. Cool. Yeah, no, it's the same.
Happen if we do like instead of 0.5, 25? Is it even less or is it even more? No,
I think it's less, but it's like closer to the camera. If that's the way it feels for me, because the stretch is deeper, I guess.
Okay.
How
do you like it more? Like more dots or less dots? I'm not sure, actually.
I think if the dots weren't stretched more when they were fewer, I would like less. But since they get more stretched out, the fewer there are, I guess I like more.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So then maybe this value is better than 0.5, right? So.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I wanna see more of it. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice.
That's fun. What could we add to this?
I wonder. I'm just gonna try again. Sorry.
We got hearts.
I have to try.
No, of course. That's what we're
make
here.
them a little bit smaller. I know you don't like them smaller, but I'm just curious.
No, oh no, see, like this makes sense to me. I like them smaller. Oh wait, yeah.
Just because now that they're like, you know, being deformed, I thought
they look
they
like
were
little
growing.
flecks, like little flecks,
Yeah,
or like
for me it was
rice
just way too
like
big.
Awesome.
So
oh no, I love that.
Too small. Or do you like them too small? I don't know.
No, I love it. Do you see, by the way, in the middle, it's like you can trace the arc of the cosine curves, because right down the middle, the dots are perfect circles.
Ah, yeah.
They go like this. They like meet and they leave from the center line. That's kind of fun. What would happen if I just picked UVY then?
Probably a different color.
Nothing. No, of course that wouldn't work. I need those variables. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah, you need to. What you could do. Hold on. Everything is black for me. Why?
Really? Oh no, I've got colors. Maybe try to reload your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's CodePen is amazing because you can be two people in the editor at once. But if you make too many changes, and particularly I think with shaders for me, it happens that sometimes the screen kind of goes like, what's happening?
Okay, now we're back.
Okay. So wait, you were gonna try something.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest, like, if we want to try to change the colors of the dots, we're passing the UV, which is a vector 2, so maybe we can just create another vector 2 here, up here, and call it, I don't know, color dots, which I'm not sure if it's gonna affect, but we can try.
Yeah,
and then pass something, which could be the UVX that you wanted, and then just a random number. I don't know.
Cool.
And I don't know if that's gonna like make a big change or not, but we can try.
I think if the dots were white.
Wait a second, white? Oh, I always forget. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you declare a vector 2, you have to yet again redeclare it, and that didn't change much.
No, because it's white.
Is there a direction?
Oh.
I think because we're still too close to 1.0.
Probably.
Because it's only changing the direction. Yeah. Okay.
What about...
Oh, what if we change here, like... Did you want to try something, by the way?
No, I was just thinking if we added it to dots somehow, but I don't think that would do anything. Because I think it would, it would do something, but then it would probably influence the gradient beneath it as well. Because then we divide color by it afterwards.
Oh, again, it's black. Jesus. No, come on.
No, for me, it wasn't black.
No? To me, it is, and I'm afraid that then the stream is black because it's black for me. So now it should be... Oh, we're back.
Yeah.
It's crashing all the time now for me, I guess. I was gonna say maybe we can, if 0 is close to 1, so maybe we say minus 0.5, it's gonna get darker.
Ooh, wow, okay.
That's too much.
They're very big, so it makes a different kind of pattern.
And I thought it was gonna get... yeah, they get bigger. Okay. I assumed that by doing this, I was gonna...
What's that other thing that you always do? You do 1 minus at the front.
Yeah. Let me delete this one.
Makes them
It
smaller.
didn't do anything, did it?
Did it make them smaller?
Maybe in front of the UV. Sometimes it has more effect if you do actually do it in the UV spectrum, and then it's gonna bring it. Okay, it's not bringing it. Weird.
I feel like there are more dots now, but I don't know that it did what we wanted it to do. So
Oh yeah, there are less dots actually. That's what's happening. It's just affecting the.
Yeah.
So we're not. What about here?
Woo.
It's again
I know that this is like very bright and probably burning everyone's eyes, but
I am so sorry.
funny.
I'm just trying things.
No, it's I like this actually. This is kind of fun. It's like
okay.
night.
So here we can kind of like change the color, but of the whole spectrum.
Fireflies in the night.
Yeah, exactly.
Or stars in a wintry sky, since we're on the theme of Christmas and stuff. I actually really like that. It's pretty. We usually really play around in bright colors. It's very rare that we do dark colors.
Yeah, I don't know. I give up with that one.
That's so cool. Okay. I don't know. How could we add? We could. Do you want to try and add? What time is it? We have 15 minutes left.
Yeah,
we could try and add cost palette, our very favorite color function. But I don't know if it'll make it pretty or not. We might mess up all the colors. Cost palette.
Just bring it in and try. That could be our last test, because I think I'm pretty happy. Like until this point, like where we got, it's really nice. Yeah. We got this like gradienty look in the background, holographic as we wanted. It's like this optical illusion with the dots. And what we could try is like if we bring the color palette to see if we can enhance it somehow.
We can try, and anyways, it gives us the opportunity to shout out the like #1 shader genius of all time, aka 𝗍𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀,
another hero.
Yeah, he would. If there was an Oscar for shaders, I'm pretty sure he'd win all of them every year. I'm sure some of you have seen him go. I don't know if he does live stream. No, he does. I've watched him do it live before.
I think he does in YouTube.
He just like sculpts 3D universes with math like live, and never makes any mistakes. His brain is impressive. And he explains it really clearly and well. Like my brain breaks when I watch him, but I could follow. I could never reproduce, but I'm always impressed with his ideas. Okay, wait, I need to go and find it. Or do you have it on hand?
I could bring it. If you want me, I can bring it in. If you, I have it here.
If you have it available, or else I have to go and dig it up. Okay.
I'm gonna put it up here above our circle.
Yeah. So what's fun about this is that, especially this version of the function, I think Char actually tweaked it, like changed the variable name so that we could understand more what part was influencing what of the color.
Char.
I'm really close to the camera, sorry. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 vectors, and so you've got 1 vector, 3 container of 3 variables that will touch on the brightness, and then you have also contrast, oscillation, and phase. So like oscillation is, the waves, and then phase is where in the wave you are. And so all of those come together in like the return function below. Actually, it's interesting. See here, he puts, I think it's 2π, but he put the number instead of like tau. But yeah, he adds them together with a very specific layering. See?
I see 6.28. That you mean?
Yeah. But it's cool there to think of it's fun to try and work out how the layering works here, because he adds brightness and contrast, but he multiplies that by the cosine of oscillation plus phase. And the t is the only float in the function, which sometimes you can add like time to that and make things move around, but you and I have had way more success with just leaving it at 1.
Exactly, or 0.5. I added it below if you scroll down now.
Yeah, I just found you. Wait, why is it all black?
Yeah, because I haven't passed. Oh, wait a second. Why is it black? Yeah, sure. I don't know. Did you type something?
I don't think so. I didn't touch anything.
Okay.
Did I accidentally touch something? No.
I don't know. Hold on. I'm going to comment this because I haven't even implemented
Yeah, okay. So it's something in the palette. Float.
Oh, I know why.
Vector.
Yeah, because I have all of these values like flying. I just left
Oh,
there,
yeah.
you know, so that we can like implement them actually ourselves.
Oh, yeah, you were
So
right.
I was gonna do this so that we can add them. Yeah, thanks. And then in here we can add color. And we can pass in the color palette here in the frag color. And then we should be able to see something, and then maybe change the float T to 0.5, which is in the middle. And now we should see something.
Black.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Oh, did we call it palette? Yeah, palette.
Yeah.
And it's a big 3. And where's my error?
So in here, in the frag color, it was not the right name. And then, sorry,
okay.
no, my bad. No, I'm being silly because you were creating that.
Let me see. Actually, it's right. Everything is right. We have a big 3, big 3. Oh, we are missing a comma. Do you see it? GLSL is very unforgiving, people. So if you're like...
It's very hard to debug shaders,
If you have like a comma that you're missing or a parenthesis that obviously you're gonna not see because it's just a comma, then everything is gonna break. So now it should
come... It's good though, because it makes you really like acutely aware of your code.
I think now it should come back. Do you see it?
I see it, yeah. I see no changes to the color, but I think that's because we put everything in the middle. So our current colors
now I see. So
are brightness. So if we wanted to play around with the contrast, what would happen if I did 1, 2, I guess numbers all the time and everything turns out brown, so apologies if that happens. Nothing
is happening really. Maybe in the face I can add my pink and see what happens. Well, maybe a different
I think with these colors, contrast is tricky too, because they're already very contrasty. Ooh, okay, more milky.
Yeah, it's just I added more pink, so I should think about another color, maybe purple. I'm gonna search the RGB.
Oh, I think I have that on hand. 1 second, I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to put it in phase?
Yeah, in phase.
Purple.
Okay, just to see. It's gonna maybe darken it. No.
It makes it like dusty in a different way. What if we used it in oscillation instead?
And maybe that 0.5, yeah. I was gonna add black here. As well. It's just darkened, isn't it?
Now it's more dark, yeah.
And if we use black in phase,
what if I did? Yeah.
Maybe it's gonna be even more darkened.
I turned off contrast completely. So
me too, phase 2.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, wait. So what if we put color somewhere else? We swap out. Let's put purple as. Oops. Let's put color where purple is and purple where color is, just to see. Or. Huh?
Then we have purple.
Wait, color times.
Yeah, I think we have to iterate the actual shape here.
Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because somehow the brightness makes the magic of something.
Oh, hey, the dots are pink now.
Palette.
That's fun.
So it gets darken. Yeah. So I imagine if, for example, if we don't want it as dark, would that balance it or?
Yeah. Well, that's going to be the, okay, so that's your timesing. I guess if we do a plus instead. Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
No, I don't mind. Okay, this is my favorite. I love this. This feels more iridescent to me. Anytime it's like snowy like this.
Yeah.
We have so many lovely hearts. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah. Yay. So that's fun. I guess the trick would be to add color to each of these. Oh, that's pretty.
That's very white. It's very white.
Yeah, it is very white, but it's pretty. Maybe I'll add vector here to color, here to phase as well. Plus. And then I'll add random numbers and see what we get.
I think it's just darkening it, so it's not making a big difference. I don't
Yeah,
even
you're right.
see a difference. Maybe a little bit darker, but it's not like
No, I
making
think you're
anything.
right. It's not doing
No,
anything.
uh-uh. But
Never
one
mind.
thing that maybe can do something is I was gonna put. I don't think the color makes anything. Maybe. Can I try like a vector here
Yeah,
with
totally.
some time? I was thinking to put 0.5 and then maybe.
Yay, I see where you're going.
And see if something moves.
Yeah, there's some wiggles in the...
I have to make it bigger, but I'm not sure if it's moving something or not.
I think it makes...
It's not moving it, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know. I was
Without
gonna...
sin?
I don't know if that would work. Oh, yeah.
Did I break it?
I think it might be making something move that is too, in terms of colors, too subtle for us to see.
I broke
I
it.
was gonna try,
Yeah, go ahead. I put it back
just
because I...
because sometimes it's fun to do that .y, just to see what it might. I'm sure it'll be very ugly, but sometimes it does weird things, or it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't do anything.
That's funny. What about times maybe .x? Okay, so that kind of makes it
Just
more
darken again.
orangey. But for me, it makes it more orangey on the left.
Yeah.
And more, let's see. And then it's going to do it from the top, from the bottom down. Okay, what if we do that? Yeah. Wow. Okay. That's funny. I mean, it's very subtle, but I don't mind it. I don't mind the gradient. What? Oh, actually, wait. Then it would be
Now when I think about it, the dots look like snow now
and it's
because
going
they're
to come
white.
like a gradient layer. Yeah, there's like a sunset. I don't know if you're into that, but I just added the slant.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder,
Ooh,
actually, when you added the slant, are you going to animate it? Yeah.
I was going to try.
Because I was going to remove this vector tree. I don't think we need that one at all.
Yeah, you can take it off. Now the colors just go, ooh, like it's very, very orangey. Ooh, actually, maybe we do need it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to see. Oh, okay. Because otherwise we get from the dark. Okay. But if we add it, then we don't have the darkness coming, but the brightness. Yeah, because we're making them closer to 0. Interesting. So, and if we want it darker, we would... Oh,
it's very iridescent-y. Ooh, I kind of like
yeah,
that.
but
Ooh,
for me it's black
red,
again.
though. Yeah. Oh, it turned black for you? No,
Yeah,
for me
yeah.
Oh, I kind of like that. I don't mind this. I'm really, because you still have that sense of depth. I think it gets a little too red at the end, but that's...
Maybe a little bit less of it. So just 1.5. It's too white and too...
Times 0.5. Maybe if it's like... Yeah, I think it'll be not as white this way.
Now I kind of like it, and just
Yeah.
maybe... Oh, can you move your cursor so I can...
Okay, sure.
Something I gotta see. So I'm gonna try that one in here, actually, in the first spot, because maybe it's not red but another color.
I don't know if I can tell if there's a difference.
In there it doesn't change much, does it?
No. Remind me, if we put time...
yeah, it's yeah, I can see it now. It's more greenish, but I think I prefer the other kind of red in this.
If I put wave in the place of the 0.5, what do you think will happen?
No idea.
With the right variable? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
a float.
I kind of like it now. So.
Yeah, me too. And it's actually perfect because it's 4 minutes. We have 4 minutes left.
But wave didn't do anything, by the way. I don't think.
2 times 4. Just so we could see it.
I don't
What?
think it's doing anything. For me, it's even black screen. So is it doing?
Yeah, for me too. I think I fixed it, but I don't know if I can see I don't think I can really see a difference. Interesting. So if I put it back to 0.5, will we see a difference? No. Cool.
But I like it.
Well, I'm pretty satisfied with
yeah,
this. It's
me
like
too, me too, me
lovely.
too. Because we have this holographic effect that we wanted. It's like
Yeah.
very in spirit of holidays.
Mm-hmm.
The white dots are like, I don't know, lights in a disco ball, or it could be snow in an abstract
Could be
world.
snow. Yeah.
So if I open it, I'm gonna open more like the result here so they can see it. It's actually, oh, maybe I can do it full screen. Hold on a second.
Yeah, go full
Because I
screen.
can take full screening here actually. So yeah, cool.
I'm checking the
Yeah, nice.
pretty.
I like it.
Me too.
Cool. So
That's awesome.
yeah, we finished in time. I can't believe it. Because
I was really fast.
I was afraid that maybe we were gonna take longer, or yeah, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, it went by fast for me.
Yeah, me too.
It was fun as always, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think what Lisa said at the very beginning was that this was the kickoff for our Twitch channel. We're streaming on the CODAME Twitch right now, but our plan in 2021 is to continue streaming and coding together, just because we have fun doing it. And if people are curious and want to learn and stuff with us, you're more than welcome to follow us. Do you want to put our
yeah, true.
Twitch channel in the chat? There's nothing on it yet, but we did decorate it.
Yeah.
A little bit. So if you guys want to keep coding with us.
Yeah. By the way, does anybody has any questions who are still logging in the chat? You can ask us before. Meanwhile, I'm sharing some links here.
And you can also dive into the CODAME Discord and continue chatting with us there. Also on social media here, I'm going to put our @s in the, although I'm pretty sure everyone has them.
Okay, I put it in the chat now. So, and I'm going to put it over here in a tab. So everyone who's watching now, the next time that Eliza and I will do streaming of shading together, we have this channel called Curiously Minded.
Yeah.
So I put the link there and you can go and check it out. And probably we are going to do our second stream next year, a little bit after New Year. So you can tune in. And should we share our social media in the chat before we leave? Maybe?
I put our @s. I put our Instagram @s. We have one question. Who is the math YouTuber you mentioned before? Oh, 𝗍𝗍. 𝗍𝗍𝗀𝗀. Do you know?
Maybe I should go to his website, right? So
no, his YouTube. Plug his YouTube channel in there, I think.
I think it's better to put his website because he has so many wonderful as well. And his, look, I'm going to share it in the Twitch.
I'm going to put his name as well, 𝗍𝗍.
Because his YouTube is in there, in that URL.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's in there. That's why I share his website, because he has the socials for YouTube, Twitter, his Patreon, everything. Plus, his own website serves as well kind of like a Bible, because he has, by the way, if you're exploring further on shaders and want to do 3D stuff like ray marching, he has a lot of shapes that you can use with ray marching on his website. So I put the link there. What else?
Yeah, ray marching is,
You can find Eliza and I on Twitter and on Instagram on those handles. And who was the mad YouTuber you mentioned? Yeah, I knew.
That was 𝗍𝗍. Yeah, that's the question. I think we got all the questions.
Yeah, I think so. So.
Oh, well, thank you to everybody who joined us. Sorry about the technical difficulties and the random.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that tomorrow, these friends that we mentioned earlier that are doing a workshop are doing a performance tomorrow, and they are gonna as well perform with our shader. So I think Lisa or somebody from CODAME just posted the link for everybody who wants to watch the performance.
Yeah.
So thank you for being here with us.
Thank you, everybody.
Hope you had fun. Want to add something else before we leave, or I turn this off if I can turn it off?
Happy holiday season to everybody, and check out the other events at the CODAME Festival, because I think there's 8 days left and they're packed full of really interesting workshops and talks and things. And CODAME is awesome, and all the people at CODAME are great, and they work really hard. So we should check out the rest of Cool.
check it out. Yeah, thanks for being here. Yeah, happy
See everybody
holidays to
soon. Yeah,
everybody.
see you guys in 2021.
Yeah, yeah, just like 3 weeks and we will see
Oh
each other.
gosh, I can't think of that. 3 weeks left of this year. Wow.
I know,
Okay.
time goes by.
On that note, bye everybody.
Bye.